You trade up here, you have resistance. So you have a nice distance. If you do like a risk reward assessment, which every trader should do on every trade, your reward is basically from here up to here, and your risk is really tiny. I mean, maybe down here.
Hello and welcome. This is the Daily Crypto. We are joined by Gareth Soloway once again, and he is going to share his thoughts on why he believes Bitcoin hasn't bottomed yet. Make sure to watch till the end, because he also shares a potentially profitable setup for you guys to avail. Let's jump right in.
Well, that it should pull back here, and then the next day after it touches that level, there'll be some news that coordinates with it. And that's the beauty of it. I always think it's good to know the news. Like, I always want to be informed, but I oftentimes use the news as like, what are the masses thinking? What are the masses being brainwashed with? And then you can use it as a contrarian indicator where, like, if everyone's insanely bullish and everyone's pumping something, start looking at the short side, look for those resistance points and start thinking about selling into it or something like that. So it's definitely the beauty of the charts is that they do kind of guide you in the direction even before the news hits.
Gareth is not someone who places a strong emphasis on the fundamental aspects of trading, because he is more of a technical person. When one employs technical analysis, everything falls into place in beautiful harmony. It's likely that many of you can identify with what he has shared with you.
Bitcoin is in a tight band right here. So we got this bearish kind of consolidation. It's a little too orderly for me, so I think this is just a little bit of bullish consolidation here. I'm expecting one more near-term move up. Minimum target would be the Terra Luna low here of around 25,500. So I think we get at least one more pop into that. There's a small chance you could get kind of a chasing rally that takes us up to this 28.5 to 30,000 level. The thought process there is you're seeing a lot of money run into technology stocks right now. The NASDAQ has been ripping higher. I think the NASDAQ's up like 20-30% just off of the recent lows a couple months ago. In fact, if we take a look at the QQQ, you can see what a more vertical up move it's had versus the Bitcoin chart, which is much flatter, right? So the idea here is that money honestly is scared of Bitcoin and crypto right now because of Voyager, Celsius. People are a little gun shy, but they're pushing all of their money into stocks right now, into the equity markets. I think eventually when the equity markets start to stall out, you'll see some money rotate back into crypto. That'll give it its kind of final move up. But the bottom line is,
Gareth is unwavering in his commitment to his convictions and maintains that he anticipates Bitcoin to reach a new all-time high before retracing its steps to the $12,000 to $13,000 range. Since the most recent pronouncement from the Fed, a rise has been seen throughout all financial markets, except for Bitcoin, which has not experienced a comparable surge. This demonstrates that consumers are still hesitant to make purchases following the failures of Voyager and Celsius.
Is any way you cut it, whether Bill's comments are accurate. I think also you have to think about the fact that there's no way we've seen the full flush out here of a bottom in crypto in a bear market. I mean, go back to any of the previous bear markets. There wasn't the blood in the streets, as they say, that you've had in previous actual bottoms. In addition, I mean, you still got the measured move. You still have a calculated move from this distance here. And then if you take that same distance there, you got basically down to about 12,000 there. So I think you got at least one more big flush down, probably starts in September, October, kind of in that vicinity. Most likely when the equity markets start to flush as well, you'll get this risk off environment again to hit. It probably coincides. My guess is I don't think it's as much election based for me of Democrats or Republicans. It's more the market realization that we're going into a recession and inflation will still be too high for the Fed to print us out of it. And I think that is going to be a monumental freak out for investors because for the last 20 plus years, .com collapse, Fed came in, lowered interest rate. Great recession, Fed came in and printed trillions of dollars, COVID trillions of dollars. Well, guess what? The next recession, the Fed can't bail us out. And I think that realization is going to cause the next big market flush, and it's going to spread to crypto. So again, short term, very short term bullish, but midterm into year end, another big flush in the markets, in the crypto market.
He then continues to explain why he believes it is likely that Bitcoin will create new lows by demonstrating the measured move that takes it down to approximately 12 to 13K. Gareth is of the opinion that we have not reached rock bottom, since there is not nearly as much fear as there was during the earlier bear cycles.
I like when things are kind of getting bashed. So like the Solana hack recently has me kind of keeping an eye on it. And on the chart, what's interesting about the chart is you got this tightening wedge pattern forming, and you're right at the low end of it. So basically, if you're looking to take a little bit of a trade, the trade here would just be to buy this low end of this support line. And if it were to close below or confirm below, you just exit for a small loss. So you have a very defined stop in that respect. Now, the upside would be is if you trade up here, you have resistance. So you have a nice distance. If you do like a risk reward assessment, which every trader should do on every trade, your reward is basically from here up to here, and your risk is really tiny. I mean, maybe down here, something like that. So that's a nice risk reward. And then the other side too would be that if you get up to here, maybe you leave half on the table to let it ride in case it breaks out. If you break out, you have some upside to maybe as high as $58. So again, you know, it's always one of those things where when everyone's hating on something, that's where I'll start kind of taking a look at it. In this case, the chart's intriguing to me. I fully go into a trade like this saying, hey, listen, it may break below that line and I may just stop out, but at least the stop out would be a very small one versus the reward that I potentially would get if we start to see this thing start to roar higher. So I would say that's an interesting chart for me.
Gareth reveals a potentially extremely profitable trade arrangement for Solana. As you have just observed on the chart, it's something on which he would also be interested in placing a trade. When it comes to trading, everything hinges on the ratio of risk to return, which is extremely advantageous in this situation. Do you agree with Gareth that Bitcoin hasn't bottomed yet? Are you going to take the trade setup for Solana that he shared? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more educational content daily. See you guys in the next one.